Hello, my friends. This is your happy stamper lady, Rachel Markin, helping the creative you shine through. Welcome to week 4 in October, which is out of the box. And of course, that means paper pumpkin. I'm super excited to show you what we're going to do to continue with our October Old World Vintage theme. We're going to do it paper pumpkin style today. So let's take a quick peek at my Facebook page. Here we go. There we are. So for those of you who subscribe on YouTube, thank you so much for doing that. Continue to do that. And if you get a chance, hop on over to my Facebook page. These last few weeks, I have posted pictures of my new steampunk room and always the cards that I make. And of course, I also this last week posted a picture of a 25th wedding anniversary present I made for my husband out of the whole steampunk stuff we've been using all month long. This is my demonstrator website, and here you can order at any time. And if you have questions, of course, I am here for you, my friends, because it's what I love to do. Hello, Magic Box! Today is Paper Pumpkin Week. So, for those of you who have never tuned in and you think, what is Paper Pumpkin? And can it come to my door? The answer is yes. It is its own magic box that Stampin' Up! Creates. It comes to your door for $22, and that includes shipping and tax. And it has everything you need to create the projects they give you in the box. Now, when you tune in with me, if you've watched me at all, you know I have a bit of a rebellious streak. So I take you outside of the box and we do something different with our paper pumpkin. But if you look over here on my notebook, you will see that I try very hard to use very few extra supplies because I want to show you the beauty of paper pumpkin, and all the things that Stampin' Up! Uses in the paper pumpkin is brilliant. Okay. And as you can see, it has a Christmas theme. So we're going to empty out this box so you can see all the magical goodies we have going on in here. Paper Pumpkin really does come with a lot of amazing supplies for you to make some super fun things. Now for the first time, Magic Box empty. The first time that you subscribe, you will get a block. Otherwise, after that, you do not get a block, but you get everything else in the Paper Pumpkin. It's super easy to subscribe. You go to paperpumpkin.com, choose me, Rachel Markin, your happy stamper lady, as your demonstrator, and it'll come to you. And if you need to pause it for a month, you can pause for 2 or 3 months, come back. They're super generous and loving. No issues whatsoever. So, this time they have included English, French, and German words, which is really nice, I think. And so super excited to show you that. Now, Paper Pumpkin always comes with instructions, okay? So it says you make these 4 cards, and the instructions tell you exactly what to do, step-by-step instructions. And there are lots of videos out there for Paper Pumpkin that'll go exactly step-by-step, and you can follow along and do those. And that is wonderful. My goal is to take you outside of the box, use what we have, but I don't follow directions very well, as you know. So we're going to take this Paper Pumpkin and we're going to go Old World Vintage style, which I'm super excited about. Okay, let's take a quick peek at these gorgeous stamps. So you have some beautiful words: joy, Merry Christmas, wishing you a very happy Christmas filled with fun and laughter. This beautiful flower, to you and yours, to the world, joy to the world, sending, and these little dots and this gorgeous wreath. So the beauty with Paper Pumpkin is you always get a stamp set, and so that stamp set can be used more than one time, obviously. So you order Paper Pumpkin, you get this gorgeous set, and then you could make all your Christmas cards. Just add my supplies, my white cardstock, my extra stamp pads are Early Espresso and Mary Merlot. It comes always with a small ink pad. This is just Jade this time. Okay, so the only other colors I used are Early Espresso and Mary Merlot. Super simple. It pretty much always comes with dimensionals. I always have dimensionals, obviously, but that is pretty much always included in the kit, I would say. You have dimensionals. They always have the best envelopes. So this comes with these envelopes, and look, it has all of the words, the love, joy, peace, but it has it in English, French, and German all through the envelope. These are gorgeous. They do such a great job with that. Way to go, Stampin' Up! Paper Pumpkin is brilliant. Okay, and then I have already punched out some of the words. I punched out more than I needed because I won't use the French and German. Although I think they're lovely, I don't know that that is something I would send, but I love that the options are there. So all of the words punch out. So here you go. So you can see the joy. And you more I like because you could do that one. You got your peace. There we go, your peace. And I might already have love. Yes, I do. And you've got love over here. Aren't those gorgeous? Okay, and those just pop right out for you. So super, super simple with the words. Just to punch out and go. I love that. Okay, so you got our words. Then you have these gorgeous pieces. They were always also punch out gold. These gold little pieces that you have. Gorgeous. I love that. Then you have two different size tags. So you have this longer tag and this shorter tag. Both of those are brilliant as well to be used. Okay. So we got those. It just keeps going. Paper Pumpkin is super, super generous. Now, I'm going to show you how to complete this wreath. The wreaths come looking like this, and then you stamp the extra part on the wreath. Isn't that gorgeous? We're going to actually do that together today. So there were 5 wreaths. I've already made one of each card to show you. And then each of the wreaths have this little piece to punch out. That is actually important for you to know, because why we're going to use it. Of course we are, because you know how I love to use stuff. Look at these gorgeous flowers. They're also a punch out. This is the beauty with Paper Pumpkin, is that you get these gorgeous punch outs and it's just there ready to go. I absolutely love it. Paper Pumpkin is so fun, and it challenges me because I'm always like, okay, how do I use this a little differently and show you how to go outside the box? And I have just had a blast with it. Okay, then there are 2 different sizes. I'm going to sit it on the back of this to see if it's better. Get it in. Turn it. Oh, there we go. So it's a sweater. It's got like this cool like sweater feeling. So it's like embossed. The paper's already embossed for you with the sweater. There's a shorter square and then a rectangle of the sweater. Okay, and we're going to show you, I'm going to show you a different way to do that. There are always these tiny little glue dots. Of course, excuse me, my nose. Of course, I use my glue. I like to use my glue, but the glue dots are there ready to go. And then this time you have 8 cards. Can you see? Yeah, you can see the glow on that. It's got this really cool gold stitching through the card. Okay, and you have 8 of those to make your Paper Pumpkin. Now we are going to go, excuse me, I'm just going to get my glue. I realized it was a little further over there. I have my glue ready, and of course I have my blocks ready. I always have those ready to go. Oh, it included, I always laugh because I show you that it included it, but I don't use it. I'm always giving this away. Although I will be using this for some tags I'm making for Christmas, so that's perfect. It includes this thread. Let's see if I pull it out there. Yes, this gorgeous thread. Isn't that beautiful? It includes that, but I don't use it on my cards. I'm a little weird about that thread on my cards for some reason. I don't know why, but there you have it. Okay, so I told you my colors. I have the extra Mary Merlot Early Expressor, and I have my large Just Jade. That's just easier for me to do. I am going to go ahead and pull out my Stamparatus because you know we're going to use it anyway, so we're going to have that ready to go. Now let's talk about what we're going to do today. So our card base is going to be white cardstock, and we're going to do the Old World envelope card. So if you caught any of my videos this month, it's all steampunk, super cool, Old World vintage, and I did an Old World envelope card, and I want to revisit that for these Christmas cards because I thought it was super, super cute. So the base is very, very simple. It is 11 inches this way 4 1/4 inches this way, and then it is scored at 5 inches here, and up here at the lip on the edge 3/4 inches. So you've got your super cute little card to go. So you say, Rachel, you have a card. Yes, we do, but we're going to tear this card apart. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to literally cut this card in half. I've got my cutter over here on the side just to make it easier to do. So we're going to take that card and we're going to just cut it down the seam. Okay, so then we have this piece and we have this piece. Now, I'm going to cut this to show you how you can make this card without ripping and distressing, because I do know that sometimes distressing for some people is distressing and you don't enjoy the rip and you don't enjoy the distress. That's fine. I'm going to show you how to do it with a rip and distress, and I'm going to show you how to do it without, so that you can see how to make a different card without necessarily the distressing, which is perfectly fine. If you remember, I tell you, find your voice, and find your voice indeed. Find your own voice. Find what works for you. Now, this card happens to be 6 inches long this way, 6 inches this way. So I'm going to cut it at the 3-inch mark. And by cutting it at the 3-inch mark, I am leaving a piece for me to do on the front of my card. Super simple. At the 3-inch mark. Okay, then the other piece we're going to talk about ripping. This piece we are actually going to have 4 pieces out of this one piece of cardstock. Okay, so we're going to do about 1.5 inches. 1.5 inches, and that makes 3. So then you've got 2 pieces here that we're going to use. We're not going to rip and distress, and we'll do that on the one card that I'm going to make for you without the ripping and the distressing. And then this piece we're going to use and rip and distress. And so the same thing happens for this little guy. We're going to cut this in half. So this is at 3 1/4, so 1, yeah. Just going to kind of go half of that to go on the front, and then I'm going to rip this side. Okay. Ooh, one more thing I need to cut. Okay, so this piece here, I'm actually cutting it right here at the seam. Just going to cut it right in half. And that piece I don't rip or distress. And so that piece will work on both of our cards that we make. I will literally just cut it in half and share the piece, one to each card. And so what you're left with, let me pull it off there, it's being a little squidgy for me. What you're left with is this super cool shape that we're going to end up decorating with. Okay, so we have prepared our main card. Yes, okay. So for the main card here, we already did some distressing. Have no fear, I'm going to show you how to distress again. But I already like full on distressed this card because I didn't want you to have to watch me distress everything. So the idea behind the ripping and distressing one, you will have this half, and you will rip towards yourself, right? And you want those edges, and I don't like my ripping to be perfect. I like it to have weird edges to it. And we will rip all around this card stock, okay, until we create this super cool piece like this, okay? We will do the same for the sweater piece. That's what we're going to call it because it looks like a sweater. It is so cute, you guys. Like this little like Argyle sweater looks so adorable. I don't know, what is it with the sweater look? I think it's so cute. Have you ever seen like the candles that look like a sweater or things like that? I don't know what that is. And truly for me, I don't know what that is because I'm like a walking hot flash. So I'm not wearing the sweater, but I find the sweater to be adorable. Okay, so we rip the sweater, and then this piece, we need 2 pieces out of this. So we're going to start by ripping toward ourselves on this one side so I can get my rip there and rip down. We're going to do the same thing over here and rip down, and then that is going to give us 2 pieces because those are going to become inside pieces. Super easy, right? And then we do the same thing over here. We just come back and we rip across and get that cool ripping effect. So this is if you are okay to do the ripping and you're okay to do the distressing, then this card is for you. If you're not, please stay tuned because I will make one without the ripping and distressing, and it is equally beautiful, and I think you will enjoy it. Okay, so those are all the rippy, distressy pieces that we're going to do. Now, I'm going to distress one of them for you, not all, and then we're going to pull out pieces and we're going to put a card together so I can show you. Okay, so we will just take our distressing tool. This is the only piece that is not Stampin' Up, unfortunately, because they don't make one. I'm using the Early Espresso, and I am literally just going across where I ripped. You see that it takes on that like really cool burnt look that we've got going on. Boom. I do that with everything. So when I am distressing like that, I do a row of distressing so that what you're left with is a distressed card, 2 distressed pieces of that brown that we cut up from the actual card, the distressed piece we have here, the distressed sweater piece, and yes, I distressed the flower, and yes, I distressed the envelope. Okay, so we have that, and then on the other side we have the exact same pieces, but we add on a distressed tag, a distressed middle, which we're going to stamp here momentarily. And I have not distressed this yet because I want to show you how to create the rest of that wreath, which is super, super cute. Okay, so with photopolymer stamps, if you go to my Sew Now What stamps, I talk about the 2 different types of stamps we have, photopolymer and cling. Now, I would say, I'm trying to think if there's ever been, I would say Paper Pumpkin is always photopolymer. You will always have photopolymer stamps. You have to use the black piece in your Stamparatus for photopolymer. Now, here's what I found when I was messing around. This is the beauty of the Stamparatus. That's why I stamped all my other wreaths. I actually marked, you see these 2 little dots here on my graph paper because I found that there's a piece of the wreath, if I sit it down there, it'll be easier to see. It actually, the 2 dots match, and there's a little piece of that lippy that kind of hangs over. And what I found was that I could put my magnet down there at the bottom, and then there is a flat piece on this wreath. There it is. There's a flat piece on this wreath that fits super nice and lets me be able to stamp the whole wreath, pick up that wreath, there we go, without picking up the other one. Now, that's okay. The beauty is, even though it picked it up, I know exactly where to put it because I made those dots. That's really the beauty of the Stamparatus, is that if you mark your paper and you do your dots, it will still work for you, that you will be in the place that you want to be. Just want to make sure I laid it properly within my dots. This is tricky with the wreath. I will tell you, the only tricky part for me is because the magnet is feels like it's like a little fat. The magnet feels like it wants to be a little fat and get in the way of stamping. So I had to figure out a way that was going to make it the easiest, I felt like, to kind of get it. So I kind of pushed that magnet like down a little bit so that I wanted to hold it when I was originally putting it on there, but then I want to give it room to let that wreath shine through. All right. See, it still want to pick it up, but it's fine because then it's done. Now, here's the only other thing with that. I'm going to go ahead and clean that wreath off because I already did all my other wreaths. Now, you know what I'm going to tell you, that if when I'm doing my cards, I do all those wreaths at one time. Boom, I've got my paper set, I got my magnet, my wreath is already on there. Boom, 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 Stamparatus. That's the beauty of it. Okay, so that is what I would tell you on that part. But I've already done all my others. So now I'm going to distress. I wanted that green on there before I distressed. And I'm going to distress my edges. And then it does kind of fit inside if you just kind of go around. You see how I'm doing that? Like kind of go around. It actually distresses the inside of your wreath too, which I think makes it look pretty cool. I kind of really liked the look of that. Okay, so now we have a distressed wreath. Now, I'm going to go ahead and do a couple of things here while we've got it. I'm going to go ahead and use my magnet, and I know I want the word joy on there, and I think that, again, the paper, or the Stamparatus, the paper pumpkin, I'm all about paper pumpkin. The Stamparatus, it does its job the best with all of these kind of words, all these kind of pieces that you have going on. And so I'm going to take advantage of it. I'm going to use it and I'm going to do all the little details so then I can go do my random stamping. So I've got my joy, which I love. Joy to the world, right? Isn't that gorgeous? So I've got that ready. And then the other thing that I want to do is I know that I want to do words inside, and I know that I want to do words on one of my pieces of paper. So I'm going to do those as well. And then we'll be ready for our random stamping. Okay, so I'm going to put my joy back, and then I'm going to take out this big saying, because I thought that big saying was actually really nice. And then I also want to you and yours. And then I'm getting ready for my flower, which I adore, and my dots. Okay, so we want this piece here. Going to do a burnt piece on each side. It does, I guess it doesn't really matter. It just depends on what you want it to be. I want it to say to you and yours. We're also going to do some other cool stamping, but let's go ahead and get all of our words done, and that will allow us to do the other stamping. I need to find my other magnets somehow. Sometimes I travel with my stuff, and somehow I am down to one very sad little magnet. So I need to probably just bite the bullet and order new magnets because my magnets are gone. Okay, so there's to you and yours. And so I know this guy's sitting right here by the Stampin' Up thing. So that's the beauty of where your magnet is. I'm literally going to lift it up and put it down so I can have another to you and yours. That's actually a little shorter piece of paper, so I'm going to scoot it up a little bit. That's the thing with ripping, which is totally fine, but ripping, they're not always exactly the same size. Okay, and I'm going to do another to you and yours, and then our words are done. Oh, they're not, because I want to do the words for the card that I'm going to do that's not distressed. So I'm actually going to pull out that piece there. It's a little fat. Let's do... Oh, that's perfect. Okay, I did forget about that because I want to teach you one that's not distressed. So while we've got the words on there, we certainly do not want to waste moving those around. There we go. Lovely. To you and yours. Okay, so we're done with that saying. Now we're going to do the really pretty Christmas saying. So we'll put those to the side, and then now we're actually going to do inside the card. So I am doing my card sideways. So sorry. I always feel like I say that, like my nose is always like, sorry for my nose. Okay, wishing you, so I'm doing it upside down, have no fear, because I'm turning the card around. But I want to do that like right there in the middle. I think that that will be lovely, actually. Sorry, my wreath got caught over there on the side. It was like, just kidding, I want to be part of it. Okay, so we're going to do that. Plop that down. We're going to do this in the Mary Merlot, I think. Did I do a Mary Merlot? I think I did. Oh, I did, yes. So the actual color that they use in those flowers is cherry cobbler. So you're certainly welcome to use cherry cobbler. But I kind of like the mix of the two reds. I thought they had a really nice look. So I chose something other than the one that they used. Now, I think that's okay, but I feel like it could be a little darker. The beauty of the Stamparatus, obviously, is that I can go back and do it because it's in the same place. I love the Stamparatus. As you know, make the Stamparatus your friend, right? Oh, that's much better. Then, before I pull that up, I'm looking. I see that's where it's sitting. That's why I have pencils over here. So mark that line. Then what's going to happen? I'm going to bring my other card over. And because I know where it's at on the line, I can sit it right back down there. And I can do the words once again. And they are going to be the exact same place. The Stamparatus is a one-time purchase, but certainly worth it. If you're someone who is going to be stamping for any length of time, I really think that you would love the Stamparatus. And if you go back, you'll see I posted pictures, I think last month. Yeah, last month in September, because my nephew Julian, hello Julian, I love you. It was his birthday, and that's what he wanted. So that's what I got him for his birthday, which makes me super happy. Okay, one more, because remember, I'm going to teach you how to do a card that is not distressed. So same place, same words. I just want to show you truly how simple it is to create in multiples, because that is a favorite for me. Multiples are a favorite. And again, I think that could use a little more oomph. So there you go. And then the other beauty is, if you notice, you're like, ooh, I've got like a big thing there. Because it's on the Stamparatus and you're using your magnets, it doesn't get down on your card, which I love as well. There you go. Gorgeous. Okay, that's ready to go. Now we're ready for random stamping. Okay? And what does that mean? That means then I use a block, because that's my favorite, and we are randomly going to start stamping with this gorgeous flower, also in Mary Merlot. So when I say random stamping, I mean exactly that. There isn't a perfect way or placement for how you're stamping. It's whatever is catching your fancy. I did indeed stamp even on this little lip here. I actually love stamping on that little lip. And if you notice, sometimes I do the full flower, and I also turn it so I just get a little bit of that stem. And I like that too. I think that that's super, super fun. So if you notice, I'm turning the flower around at times, and that is because I want different angles to this flower. Now look what you're already creating in there. Isn't that absolutely lovely? And that's what we're going for. We're going for that random old world. Now this flower, while we have it, we're going to stamp our envelope, because why not? because who doesn't love to get a happy little envelope, right? Then we have another card. So do you see how it works when I talk about doing different assembly line? I know that sounds awful, like you think assembly line. I don't really like the idea of that, but I have found that it truly does work for me to do assembly line, because I can then not have to clean my stamps while I'm working with them. I can do what I'm doing here, which is be very random and fun with my stamps, and I love how it turns out. I think it's really, really beautiful. Now, again, if that doesn't work for you, don't do it. Find your own voice. You know I'm always going to tell you to find your own voice. Okay, this flower became my favorite, obviously. Super, super lovely, actually. So we did that. Now, we don't want to miss out on our little brown papers that we have going on. We want to stamp on those. So I'm looking over here just to make sure I didn't miss anything. I don't stamp on that, but I do stamp on this because it's lovely. And then there's another brown paper. Not sad. So this is how, when I'm doing assembly line, this is exactly how I do it. I just go through and I'm like, okay, what pieces did I miss? I also want a little flower on the to you and yours. I think that's absolutely lovely. We'll do a flower here as well. And so do you get the gist of what we do? There's just, I mean, there is no rhyme or reason. You're just going through and enjoying stamping. Now, we're going to do the exact same thing over here. Even though we haven't distressed, which is fine, we're going to give this a gorgeous glimpse of that beautiful color. I think that Mary Merlot is quite lovely, actually. Okay, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to flip because you can start to oversaturate your paper, and you will tell that you're doing that if it starts to come back up on you. So you just have to be careful about that. But if you watch, you'll be totally fine. It will be totally fine for you. Okay, so are you loving it? I'm having such a good time. I hope that you have absolutely enjoyed this steampunk version of making cards this month. I have loved making cards this month with all the steampunk stuff. Super, super fun. Okay, we're going to do this. Did you see how I threw that? Like I was getting a little excited. Okay, we've got the to you and yours. We want that part. We want this one. I love it. I love it. I think I'm going to go down with that. Oh, isn't that gorgeous? Yes, I like that. So we don't do that, but we want our envelope also to have our lovely flowers on them. Do you love it? So, so fun. Okay, now we're going to take that little dot. That's all I think to call it. I think originally the purpose of the dot was probably to be used for like the wreath, you know, like the little berries, but I used it as a decoration just because I thought it was lovely, to be honest. So flower done. Now our little dots. Here's the thing with the dots that I found. I found it best if you put them in the corner here when you're using them. And I'll show you. I'll come over here with the stamp pad. See here, I kind of go in the corner and try not to touch the stamp on the rest of the block. That way I didn't get ink all over the place. And then if you see what I'm doing, I am randomly doing dots, and look at how that totally adds to our design. So there's no right or wrong with the dots. It just adds to the design. Okay, do you see how that's working out? Now, I do that with all the things, obviously. All the things, right? And then I'm going to show you, we'll start to put together a few pieces here. I'll show you how it goes. But I want to do it on this because I don't have one done on here. Isn't that gorgeous? I don't know. Like all of a sudden I just think it like totally like kicks it up a notch, as Emerald would say. It just like totally takes you in a different direction with the look of these stamps. I just think it really adds something and I absolutely adore it. I just think that that is adorable. Okay, so we don't have it on that, but we certainly need it on this with our pretty flowers there. I love these flowers. I think it's so, so pretty. And again, I'm not even going to pretend that I know. I'm sure. Like, is there a Christmas flower? There might actually be just a Christmas flower, maybe. Like I'm pretending like I know what I'm talking about. I don't know if there's just a Christmas flower, but it is quite lovely. I think it's very, very beautiful. So I just thought it was really, really pretty. And I don't know, I just thought those dots were very unique. I thought it just lent a very unique air. Now, if you notice that you're getting stuff on the block, go ahead and clean it off because you don't want to mess up your card that you're making if you have ink and then it transfers off of your block onto your paper in a bad way, like how you don't want it to. Okay, so now we've got little dots going on here. Isn't that lovely? I just love it. So hopefully I am going to as we head into the holidays, I'm going to start asking you some of your traditions, but I also am aware, so I will share with you. I love the holidays. I love spending time with my family, but Christmas starts to approach and I miss my mom like it was yesterday. Kind of steals my breath away and makes me super sad sometimes. And at the same time, I enjoy celebrating and I love being with my family. So it's kind of a dichotomous place. And so I want to share that with you, that I'm super, super aware that the holidays can be wonderful and also still evoke pain and evoke places of sadness at times, and I totally get that. I was thinking about, here's my philosophical, if you've watched any of my videos, you're like, oh, good gravy, here she goes again, but I was taking pictures to show you my steampunk room. And so you're looking through a lens. And so as it filters through the lens, you're like, oh, maybe I need to move that or I need to maybe fix that a little bit. And it made me think about how that is how we view our life. And sometimes, especially in this world of, isn't that super cute? The technology age, I guess, it can really like start to feel, what's the word I want? Fake. We view people's lives through a lens and we go, oh wow, their life is so good or they have it so good. And you know what we don't see is behind the scenes getting ready for that magical picture that we took, or you know, that looked just perfect or just so or whatever. And so I think it's very good to remember that, you know, we all have struggles, we all have places that are difficult, and I think that is life. I think that there are places of pain and praise in the same moments sometimes, in the same places. And that's kind of where I've found myself. Like, it's okay to enjoy that moment, but it's okay if sadness steals up and takes your breath away for a minute, and you can feel that too. And just finding places for all of that, because I just think that is what life is about. And being very, very aware that what we view for people's lives, unless you're living with someone day by day, minute by minute, you're viewing their life through a looking glass. You're viewing their life through a very small camera filter. And, you know, you can do your pictures like I did for my room and then go, oh, I think I'm going to filter this out, or I'm going to change the lighting because the lighting was glaring, so I'm going to edit this or I'm going to edit that. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, like, we have to be very careful that we think other people's lives are great and our life is horrible. The comparison is a monster for sure. And I think when we do that, we can really lose light of the blessings that we have. And so as we head into the holidays, that is what I look for. I'm looking for the blessing. I'm looking to try to find the places where I can praise. And on the days that I need to cry, that's okay too. And because I always miss my mom. She passed away literally right before Christmas. It'll be 5 years this year, which is, oh, it's a bit astounding to me that I have not had my mom with me for 5 years. And I know the blessing is that she was very sick at the end and that she wasn't functioning well. But man, do I miss her. And mom loved the holidays. Mom loved anything that had to do with family. Anything. If we were celebrating family, she was in. She was happy. It was like her favorite time. And I find that I become more and more like that as the years go by. And I certainly hope that I am the best parts of my mom and the best parts of my brother, and that I keep those legacies alive in a good way that honors family. And I think that's really all we can do. To be honest, I think that's all that we can do. Okay, I think I've done enough dots to put some stuff together to show you how to put cards together, right? Okay, so let's put together our steampunk version of Christmas. So there is no right or wrong when you're putting things together. To be honest, there is no right or wrong. You can decide you want to go this way. You could decide you want to go this way, which I kind of liked. I was trying to decide what I wanted today. Trying to decide where I want it to be. And that's how it goes. You're just trying to filter your favorite part of it. I think I'm going to go that way. Okay. So we're going to connect the I don't even know what you call this. It was the card front. So the piece with like the gold or the, the gold squidgy through it. We're going to put that on first. Okay. We're going to lay that down. And then we're going to lay down our sweater piece. So I kind of like the sweater piece over to the side. I always like to kind of have it a little bit dichotomous, not like exactly laying a certain way. We're going to use our dimensionals to pop up this gorgeous flower. So tell me in the comments if there is a Christmas flower. I feel like I've heard that of a Christmas flower, but I wasn't 100% sure, so I wasn't going to pretend like I knew if there was a Christmas flower. Because obviously I don't know plants, so, which is fine. Okay, so I'm going to put the Christmas flower. I think I'm going to go like this. I want to see. Yes, I love that. Oh, I love that. And then I'm going to do the love word, or peace, or joy. I will do them all because I will make the whole set of cards. But today I had love sitting over here, so that's what we'll work with. We'll do the love card. Boom. And we will add that on the front. Look at that. Look how cute that is. Oh my gosh, isn't that beautiful? Can you see? Oh, there. It's kind of hard. It's glaring at an odd. There you go. There you go. You can see it. Okay. And then on the inside, we have the to you and yours, which I'm going to add up here because I think that's nice. And then I left myself a place if I want to do some writing. Did you see? Whoopsie! Flew out of my hand. Okay, so I've got my to you and yours there, which I think looks really lovely inside. And then I have this piece over here, but it's going to need to be smaller, which is not a big deal. But once you do your words, you can find that you're like, no, that needs to be a little bit smaller. And so all that means, because I don't want to take up, trying to decide where I want that to lay. I think I'm going to do it there. So I'm just basically get a little bit smaller. And then all that means is that I will distress it one more time, obviously, to make it work in the space that we put it in so that it looks nice. And that actually is lovely. In fact, I think I'm going to do it that way. Yes, that's very nice. Okay, and so then you have a distressed card, Old World Vintage, Steampunk Christmas card. Look how beautiful that is out of the paper pumpkin. And then the other one that I did, I'm just going to show you because I want to put that other one together real quick. And this is the joy. This is the wreath. Isn't that gorgeous? Okay, so real quickly, let's put together this card for you because you're like, Rachel, I don't want it to be ripped. That distresses me. That's fine. So we cut our cards. You watched me do that. You could do that with your whole set. Okay, so all you need is extra white cardstock. That's all you need. Okay, and you have your gorgeous little piece of sweater. That's what we're going to call it because it does look like a sweater. Super, super cute. We'll put that down. We've got we'll do the flower. We'll get our dimensionals. We'll pull another word. I got them all shoved over there. We can find another word to put on there. So you can create things in your own voice, and I hope you know that. I hope by now, if you haven't caught any of my videos, I'd love for you to go back and watch my videos, but I hope you know that that is my goal, for you to find your own voice, and that you just stamp along with me and you think, oh no, I think I do that a little differently. Please do so. Do it a little differently, but you know what I love, and I truly do love, if you do it differently, can you show me? Because that would make me super happy. I would love for you to show me how you did it differently. Okay, I'm actually going to do the word amour because that's beautiful. And I think most people know that the word amour means love. You know, so send it to someone that you think is going to know that that's what that means so that you're not like, ooh. But I'm pretty sure most people know amour means love. So there you go. You could do that. Just trying to get that around my letters. Excuse me, I had a minute. I was trying to get it to go down. Silly glue dot. There, go away. Okay, so then you've got a more, and already look how lovely that's looking. No distressing in sight, no cutting in sight, okay? And then you have your lovely To You and Yours, which looks so cute up there. Which I love. To You and Yours. Super, super nice. And I don't even know if I would put this one in there. You could, yes, we could cut that a little bit smaller and you could cover that up, or you could leave it. I actually think I'm just like it like that. So there's your beautiful card. Not steampunk version, and look how lovely that is. That is a gorgeous Christmas card that you'd be super happy to give out and share. So this is the paper pumpkin out of the box, which is super, super fun. So we did it old world vintage style, but I showed you one that is not. So let's review real quickly and then we're going to sign off here. So we've got a couple in the old world vintage up here. So I wanted to show you that the wreath was done. Oh, that's what I did. So remember that little spot I told you to keep? I'm sorry, I forgot to show you that. That little spot that I told you to keep that came out of the wreath, I actually stamped the flower inside it and distressed it and then made it look like it was a flower on top of the wreath. And then there's that gold piece there and our little tag. And then we've got those. And then you've got the insides going on. Super cute. And then we have it done without the distressing. Okay, oh, my friends, Let's go to the front screen. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you always enjoy the paper pumpkins. I get super, super excited. And I will tell you, as we head into the holidays, that is our November theme, head into the holidays, that I'm going to show you all kinds of cool Christmas ideas. I have 3 different cards, and I know the paper pumpkin is gingerbread, so we'll be doing gingerbread in November. And then I actually have a couple of Christmas projects, like gift ideas, to show you as well. So I hope you tune in for all of that as we head toward the holidays, and I hope that you enjoyed this paper pumpkin out of the box for our final October Old World Vintage. So what am I going to tell you to do, my friends? Go make the world a better place. Your voice matters. What you say matters. So make sure that you use it for good. Okay? And until I see you next month in November, I bid you adieu.